Welcome back to Wook Plus. I am the Great Went, joined by T and DJ Airwolf. How are we doing today, sir?
Howdy, guys. Thanks for having me.
Right on.
Great. I guess we got a great backstory. You saw the after show video we did and reached out and said, hey, you guys said you really didn't know me. Let me tell you about myself. And I was like, come on. So
yeah, I thought I'd let you know.
Why don't you give us a little backstory, and then we'll get into the shows coming up.
Sure, man. Well, I've been a DJ in some capacity for probably 20 years. Got serious about it maybe about 7 or 8 years ago. I had fortune smile upon me. I was in New York for New Year's Eve playing an after party at a place called Pen 6, which is very conveniently located next to MSG. It's the first place you encounter when you walk out the door, holds about 400 people. And I'm up in the booth, and all of a sudden I see a familiar form walk in, and there's Mike Gordon. And I said to myself, this is what you trained for. And sure enough, the fucking phone rang like 3 days later. Their manager called me and asked if I wanted to do the 2019 Phish Mexico event. It was life-changing for me. They've had me back 3 other times, and it has been a amazing ride.
That's awesome. I love that.
It's as a Phish fan first, that was a big feather in my cap.
Yeah, we're waiting for a call.
It can happen to you.
It can happen to you.
Those are the best stories, man. I love that. That is awesome.
Yeah.
I had said on that other video about the after shows becoming a cottage industry, half joking, but half true. You've been doing it for quite a few years, right?
Yeah. After COVID, I did the Phish Mexico right before COVID. And if you recall, that year, the event took place days before the world shut down. The after parties that year were particularly strong around the Nizuc pool. And for a lot of people, I was the last good time they had. And those people carried me through COVID, and when the world opened it up, people wanted to know more. I come from a music background. I was working for a group of music festivals at the time here in Atlanta, and I knew just enough of how to get my foot kind of in the door, started booking shows, and it's worked out. And I don't do too many after parties a year. I feel like my audience tends to be more of a major market. I don't think that I'm going to bring a huge audience in Dayton, Ohio, or the likes of that. But New York, LA, San Francisco, Las Vegas, Atlanta, it works for me. And I've just been so fortunate.
Nice. Real quick, where'd you get the name from? I mean, I'm hoping I'm right with it, but tell us a little history of where you got it.
For us older folks, we remember in the 80s, there was a television show called Airwolf that was a sort of a Knight Rider knockoff, I guess. It was about a super-powered helicopter that was stolen by these do-gooders, and they stole it from the government because they didn't think they could be trusted with the power of the Airwolf. And my favorite thing about the show as an adult is that from episode to episode, they might be fighting like Cuban nationalists or helping some cattle ranchers get their cattle back, all with a helicopter that can destroy the world. So if I had known that I was going to be DJ Airwolf 15 years, I'm not sure if that's what I'd have gone with, but it's working for me. And I also love that some people just think I made that shit up, but,
Right.
there's people and they're like, well, a nuclear powered helicopter. What are you talking about? It was a mid-level hit on US.
Yeah.
So,
dude, I love that.
remember
I loved that show. Jan Michael Vincent, Ernest Borgnine was in it. I mean,
killing it.
killer cast. Like, just it was the glory years of 80s television though, when we had, like you said, like Knight Rider, the A-Team. We had like all of those great shows, and this was like part of that whole run of like fantastic.
Don't forget the other helicopter. Do you remember Blue Thunder?
Blue Thunder. Oh yeah, with Roy Scheider. Yes.
So it wasn't it was the golden age of super powered vehicle shows.
Especially helicopters.
The Transformers were hitting back then. It was
Have you ever heard of 18 Wheels of Justice? About an 18-wheeler that has a supercomputer in it, and the guy lives in the 18-wheeler and he goes and solves crimes.
Amazing.
That's up my alley.
That is exactly. It's right in line with all of this too. So no, I saw that name and that was the first thing that popped in my head. I was like, I hope this is in reference to the Jan Michael Vincent show, because I love that. And so I was like, I'm already a fan. Like, I'm in. Like, that's one of those things. You're like, I got to check it out. The name alone pulls me in. So nice, very good.
It's for you then.
I love it.
Do you cater your sets to, like, when you're doing a Phish after show, you cater it towards that crowd?
I'll answer it a couple different ways. I'm a huge Phish fan. I have been since 1993 when I saw him for the first time, and here at the Roxy, some pretty great shows. But more so, I am a music fan, and I don't love other jam bands so much. I think the tether between me and a Phish act is no matter what I do, I try to make sure that the music is musical. It's there are guitars, there are pianos. It's not just electronic beepy boopy sounds, although I like those. It must be musical. And I think that's the tie-in. Now, look, it's easy to drop a Sneak and Sally. It's easy to play some Talking Heads, some David Bowie, things that Phish has brought into it. But I wouldn't call it particularly fishy, except maybe that, it's a journey and a willingness to explore the unfamiliar sometimes. That's what makes the community so great, is that they recognize that, and they're willing to go out there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Sometimes we I don't ever hope someone falls on their face when they're playing live music and improvising, but I love when they're willing to go out there and risk falling on their face.
Take the leap. The leap. Yeah.
I like take the leap is better, I guess, than falling on your face.
Exactly. Yes. Stay on the positive side of that. Definitely.
Absolutely love it. You had a big show in LA on spring tour.
I had a big show in LA. I played on Sunday night of the tour with my good friend Mitch Please, who is also a Phish Mexico DJ alum. And we picked this little club in Hollywood, kind of on it was a pick and pray type situation. It was called Jungle. It was about a 4-minute walk from the Hollywood Bowl. And we filled that room, and the vibes were elite level. No one left until they were made to leave. And to play with my friend in that kind of setting, and the sound was great. The DJ booth was big enough for the two of us, man. We had so much fun, and I can still see so many of those smiling faces out there. It was a good one,
It
was a good one.
But
there's no Well, this was a Hollywood. Yeah, if you know it, you probably hang out, on a level I don't hang out on. I don't go out that much. I don't go out that much anymore.
Yeah, no, me neither. And that was I knew there was a few things going on, but I had spent night 0 at the Taper's Choice show and then 3 nights of Phish. I was dead, man. I was like, go for it, guys. Go enjoy the nights. I was like, I got to go home and go to bed.
For sure. For sure.
But I got it. Next time you're out here or anywhere that I am or whatever, I got to catch a set for sure. Because
LA's been good to me over the years.
Good.
Yeah.
Glad to hear that.
And got some upcoming shows, doing a couple of nights in Charleston at a place called Lo-Fi Brewery. And I'm playing the Brooklyn Bowl, which is obviously pretty iconic and cool, after the Forest Hills shows on the 23rd. And the great thing about those particular shows for me are they're set up in a way. Look, I'm a DJ, man. I'm not a guitar player. Like I throw parties, not shows. And the environment will be such that if you want to dance, and there's a dance floor, and if you want to hang out on a couch, go over there and don't pay a lick of attention. But I try to make sure that the vibe of the music is such that both those things are possible. And once again, it's a party, not a show.
All right, so
all I do is push buttons and turn knobs, man.
I love it though, and then you put everybody else in a good mood and dancing, or like you said, or hanging out and talking, like with good background music, which is awesome. Like set the vibe. I think
that in our current situation on planet Earth, man, feel so fortunate that I can go out and just make people forget about it for a little while. You know,
very needed.
I love doing that here. We get people watching us talk about Phish, and I know they're doing it as much to escape their own world as they care about what these two are saying. You know,
I went to the Sunday show, and a lot of times it's difficult for me to enjoy myself, especially when I have to have an after party, which I did in Manchester, and I picked the right one. I mean, once Pebbles and Marbles hit. And then that my friend egg in a hole situation. I was not thinking about. Oh man, it was awesome. It was awesome. I mean, then the tweezer thing, and it like I said, I picked a good one to take my suit off. You know what I mean?
Right. Definitely. Oh, that was a good one for sure.
I hear you. So, how was Manchester?
Manchester's a great town. I'd never been to New Hampshire. Live free or die is what they say. And my shows, for me, they weren't the best ones I ever had. I was playing with another band, though, and they had some great shows. They were called J Whale. It's like a super group. It was this guy, Jonah Pinsky, and there was a girl named Sammy from this band named Cool. Dave Grippo from the Country Horns. Is it the Giant Country Horns? He's a real nice man. And Dave Murphy, Sound Tribe, and a guy named Rohan from Atlanta. There was three: Dave, Rohan, and I, all from Atlanta. So they turned it out.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's I guess it's tough having two acts after a show because you're the third act then, you know.
Right.
It wasn't ideal, but we live to fight another day. I'm confident in these things I got coming up.
It happens, you know. It's just one of those unlucky situations where when you go second, it just kind of like is that way, and then the next night Phish goes long, and you go, you know what I mean, or whatever. And so it's just one of those kind of what it happens, and the other guy just happened to hit it right, you know. So you never know, but it's still awesome to be able to do it, and you know, I'm sure the people that did stick around and say had a great time. So I mean, it's what it is, you know. I'm sure the next one will rage anyway. So whatever, you know.
Where should we send people to buy tickets beforehand, because we know how important it is to pre-buy tickets for these kinds of events?
You can. So my main source of information is my Instagram, and that's DJ.Airwolf. On that, you know, there's the link in the bio, as you see so often, and that link will take you to ticket sales plus a bunch of DJ mixes. You can find all of the DJ mixes I've done for Phish Mexico plus other stuff, and that is the main source of information for me. Yeah.
Right. Or would you have other shows going on besides these after shows on the books coming up?
We've got, let's see, the big thing that is probably pertinent to the conversation is I'm playing Jam Cruise for the second time in February.
Props.
Yeah, thank you so much. I don't know if you've ever done the Jam Cruise. It's something.
Yeah, I've heard.
I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I don't know if I'm allowed to even announce it, but I know one of my favorite bands is doing it this year, is going to be on it this year. And I was like, God, if there was ever a year to do it, this might be the year to check
going to
it
be
out.
there. Jasmine.
Fishman's going to be on the boat this year.
Yeah, Taper's Choice. Taper's Choice is going to do it.
I saw the is it the Disco Biscuits or the headliner?
Medeski,
Martin and Wood. That's what I'm there for.
And Disco Biscuits, right?
Yeah,
I went on a cruise once, and it was to see this band, the Radiators, out of New Orleans. They're my favorite band, and they played 5 nights out of 7. And if they weren't playing, I would have jumped off that ship. I was so bored out of my mind.
I refer to Jam Cruise as party prison. Because you can't leave.
You can't leave, whether you want to party or not. You're stuck.
So, you might as well join the party because you're on the boat.
Yep. That's great. I've heard good things though. Everyone I know that's gone has said it's really a lot of fun and that it's a good time. So yeah, and I feel like if the music's right,
musical.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a cool time to hang out too. Like, you know, everyone's kind of around, so it's a little bit easier. It's not as show, you know what I mean? Like you get to kind of mingle and hang out, and bands play with each other, and so it's sort of like a whole thing of, like you said, it's like you're stuck on a party boat.
They kind of started the whole artist at large thing that you see at so many festivals now, years and years ago.
Yeah,
the access to the artists on Jam Cruise is probably unparalleled, and people treat them with it's a very professional group of music lovers, you know, so it's no big deal for you to see your heroes walking around, and it's no big deal for you to talk to them, you know. They're on the boat, they're fans, and Jam Cruise has a good thing going on.
And I would think for them, you kind of have to go in with that attitude too, where you're going to be bumping into people constantly, because it's not like you can, you know, have your entourage or whatever, you know, and be avoiding them, or like have your little hang out in the green room the whole time, or you know what I mean, avoid the crowds. You're kind of out there. You want to go lay in the sun, you want to get some sun on the deck, you're going to see, you want to play shuffle, you know, you're going to run into
the one of the results of that is, because of that, you have to be pretty cool on the boat, you know. If you get out of line, they will know the guy in the green sparkly jacket with the pumpkin on his head was the one that was causing problems in the casino last night.
It travels, right? Right. And then like a year later, when you're down on the floor at the show, and they're like, "That's the asshole from Jam Cruise." That's the guy right there.
It's like a floating lot almost, huh? It's like
That's
you're
right.
stuck on the lot.
Yeah.
Everyone knows everything. Oh man. Anything else you want to throw out before we wrap up?
You know, I just wanted to say to, you know, this, like I said, I got real lucky one day, and the Phish community has embraced in a way that I could never imagine. And I think they're the best fans in the world. And it is a miracle that we get to see Phish play like they are and have been for so long. And for me to have this tiny part in the giant web is one of the biggest honors of my life. And I am so appreciative.
I think that's awesome. And I think you said your first show was in '93, and so is mine. So to be seeing them now after the hiatus and everything,
never would have imagined it. Never would have imagined it.
Yeah, it's and to see them performing at the level they are, and to be as good, like everything. I would have never imagined it. And we're so fortunate that they came back and have given us this, and you don't take that for granted at all. And the fact that
here's to another 40 years, right?
I agree. Right completely. And the fact that you get to be a part of it and do that and go down in Mexico and hang out and stuff has to just be incredible. Because even just us doing this on the side is so rewarding for us, and we're not even a part of it. Just interacting with fans and stuff is so cool and awesome. So I can't.
We're working on it. One day we're going to get Mike on here. Mike will come on.
Phish is a lifestyle.
I think Mike's,
it is. It's a lifestyle. It's a life. It truly is. I agree.
We're never going to see Trey, but that's all right.
Actually, he'll probably be the one we get through like Gorilla Toss or something crazy, and we'll be like, "What?"
He's just looking for your phone number, you know?
Right, exactly. He'll be like you and be like, "What, these guys talked about me on the show? I gotta give them a call," you know? Like, what?
Yeah. It's coming.
It's funny. I'm glad that they don't listen, because, you know,
right.
Sometimes we're a little hypercritical of stuff that, you know.
We're fans.
I think it's straight. I think that we can all speculate on what Phish does or does not do. How much are they paying attention to the countless fan generated things? Sometimes something does pop up where clearly they were paying attention, and so they keep us guessing. And they are going to keep you two guys guessing, until the moment the phone rings.
Well, it's a running joke when we complain about something and then they change it a couple shows later, and we're like, Trey's watching the show again.
Trey's watching the show again. Someone's watching the show and giving him notes. It's great. I love it. And you're right. Like, you never. That's what I love so much about them. You think they're gonna zig, and not only do they zag, but then they like quadruple zag it completely. And you're like, I would have never. What are they even? Like, what brain does that guy have in him that makes him do that?
Trey's been losing his voice, and I think because of that, we're getting 42-minute long what's going through your minds.
Yeah,
that's right.
Trying to eat up some real estate.
That's what it takes, though. That's great.
Sunday night at Manchester. It
His
wasn't
guitar,
just Tweezer Fest. It was full on.
Yeah, his guitar does the talking if his voice falters. All
right.
Agree. Right on, man. Well, this is awesome, though. Thank you so much for stopping by and saying hi.
Maybe on Wednesday after tour, we can get you to come on the live show, live with us. It's more of a guest host thing than an interview. We give you topics and we sit around and do like around the horn and talk about music.
It's more of a hang where we just discuss things instead of like asking you anything.
We are now connected.
We are.
Hit me up for anything. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Yeah. And I can't wait to see you out there either at a show or at your show, or next time you're in LA, I'll definitely be there. So let me know when that happens. And
follow that Instagram link in my bio, and you'll have a bunch of, you can do some music out there.
Will do, man. I'll check it out for sure. Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome.